Jonathan Williams, or Lil Johnny as he was known as in the hood. Oldest of 3 kids, raised in a single parent home. Badass kid. Smallest kid on the playground, always fighting. See, he thought he had something to prove because he was so small. So one day in the grocery store, Lil Johnny's mom was fussing at him. Told him he couldn't play sports, couldn't go outside and do anything until he got his attitude right. Was an old ball coach in the line behind the mom. He decided to butt in, said, "Ma'am, excuse me, I normally don't do this, but see, I coach football. We got tryouts today at the city park. Won't you bring him down? Maybe football will help his attitude." I'm pretty sure on any other day, Lil Johnny's mom would have ignored this guy, but at her wit's end, she took his advice, took Lil Johnny down to the city park. The way I hear it, he was the smallest kid at tryouts that day. And it's funny, the coaches said he didn't know a damn thing about football, but the kid had a motor like they had never seen before. So after making the team, the coach took Lil Johnny and some others to a Griffin High football game so they could see an Iron Man athlete in his senior season. I'm Kspadetheprospect, quarterback and strong safety for the Griffin High Bears. Well, this experience changed Lil Johnny's life. He knew at that day he wanted to play strong safety. He knew he wanted to be number 24, and he knew he wanted to be his school's version of I'm Kspadetheprospect. It turned him around. He started making better grades. His behavior got better. His attitude got better. He grew into a respectful young man. But that wouldn't necessarily help him on the field, but the thing that happened his freshman year, that's what was crazy. They say over the summer, Lil Johnny went from 5'8" to 6'1". Lil Johnny wasn't so little anymore. So even though he grew into a respectful young man, you couldn't tell on the football field. The guy was a beast. The hardest hit we had ever seen was Lil Johnny knocking the hell out of a fullback about 100 pounds heavier than him. But that aggression sometimes wasn't a good thing. I mean, it was always a good thing for him and his teammates, but not so much for the school. See, Lil Johnny had been penalized more than any other high school player in the state of Georgia. He was a repeat offender for helmet-to-helmet hits and late hits on quarterbacks. And those that knew Lil Johnny say he didn't mean anything by it. It's just the way he played the sport. It's the way he taught. He was taught, you know? But the board didn't want to hear that. They came down hard on the school, and the school had to expel him. So with no school and no football, some wondered if Lil Johnny would turn back to the old Lil Johnny that nobody liked. But his mom knew how much this sport meant to her son, so she was willing to make a long commute over to Rack City so that he could attend their school. Since he wasn't old enough to consent to it himself, his mom consent allowed him to change his name. He created a whole new identity for himself. His senior year, he was going as Johnny Hithard. Moved to Rack City, his first year for this new school. It was crazy, man. I mean, his story alone made people root for him. If you knew what this guy came from, if you saw the living conditions he stayed in, you couldn't do anything but root for him. This is going to be a hell of a series. I know I kind of went with what some might say is a controversial storyline with this character. I've never done a storyline like this for any character, but I feel like everybody, at least where I'm from, everybody knows a Lil Johnny, whether that's his name or not. Everybody knows this guy. So I mean, every time I meet him in real life, I root for him, and I root for him even in this character that's not even real. Knowing the living conditions he has, knowing that the younger siblings is looking up to him. He's leading by example. He's not in the streets. He's not doing any of that crazy stuff. You know, he's trying to provide for his family through sports. So I root for him. Hopefully you guys root for him. This series is gonna be crazy. With that being said, I do want to say, you know, with Strafe taken out of the game, I have not enjoyed playing defensive back as much as I have in previous years. You know, hopefully I'll adapt and get used to it. But as of right now, I'm not a fan of not being able to strafe. I don't know how you can be a defensive back and not strafe. EA, you really dropped the ball on that one. But y'all know me, man. I'm gonna try my best to make the series hot regardless of the flaws and downfalls. This video is drawn to an end. This is all I got for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay tuned, man. Tell a friend to tell a friend. I'm out. I'll catch y'all on the next video. Peace.
Rainmaker.